Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Avashai by Shem Rakak Badash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathens that look like the heathens. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And I'm going to chime in on this lesson that was sent to me by the elder Yashawamba. And it's on the Zion of Moth 2. As a matter of fact, subscribing right now. And it's called Discussion. They have connected us to Kanye. Also, Amalek is put on trial. Trademark TM. So yeah, there's another video circulating called "You Are Amalek," and you can and it's a 3-part series on Odyssey. And I imagine that video is they're gonna jockey, you know, to move to the position to move that off of the internet. It's very condemning and overwhelming information that proves that a lot of things that Kanye said was true, and it shouldn't be deemed anti-Semitic when it's just simply true. Why they're so offensive at it, but if you take such offense to someone bringing out the fact that they control the media when they do, and most of the important positions in America, as far as government, is occupied by them in office. And that video, you know, I don't want to dwell on that, but in that video it breaks it down and it shows you all the organizations and positions of power from medical to political to entertainment to information. You know, at the top is them. It just simply is Amalek. All right, but I'm gonna go in on this video and play probably about 7-8 minutes of it. Start around the 7-minute mark. This discussion they have connected us to Kanye. Also, Amalek is put on trial because, you know, they just, first of all, they never find Hebrew Israelites, especially like the men of the Great Millstone. They always find these other people who know somebody or whatever, or got a friend, you know, or they'll find one of these bought out 501c3 charter camps to do an interview, and they never bring up the name Edom, Esau. They never talk about the name Yahweh. You know, Yahweh Shai, they never bring that up. You know, they avoid the important talk points and the important scriptures and prophecy, and then they make it a color. And you look, man, you got a whole movement of natives and so-called Latinos that are also Hebrew Israelites waking up to their heritage. And are you gonna call them Black Hebrew Israelites too? So automatically, you know, when that term Black Hebrew Israelite is used, when they add the black to it, you already know it's a bought and paid for individual. Which is going to be a very controlled atmosphere as far as the speech, as far as what questions are asked and what is said, and they're never really going to say things that are actually beneficial to the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. They're always going to speak more beneficial to the Jewish movement. All right, but it's simply Hebrew Israelites, and this isn't a color thing. They make it a color thing. They're the ones that doing that. As a matter of fact, I have a quote from that video that I spoke about, the "You Are Amalek" video, where there's a very famous Jewish rabbi. He referred to white as a social construct, the same as I've been telling you for a very long time. They created it because the real war has been. Well, we were always the target, but there's been a war among Esau, Edom, and a house divided cannot stand. Judaism is completely and totally against Christianity. All right? And in this video, that point is proved beyond a shadow of a doubt, that there's an agenda to eliminate, intermingle all Europeans, so-called whites, with people of color. And that Amalek, you know, his goal is that he'll be the only pure race left. But you know, they don't want to, and they're throwing the white Americans, the Europeans, under the bus, as being the biblical Edomites. So what is this telling you? What this is telling you is that this whole Judeo-Christian movement is a farce and it's a lie, because Christianity teaches that Esau is done away with, but yet the Jewish people are referring to America as Edom, and as the Christian whites as Edom. So Edom is still here, all right? And so we have a problem, and nobody's focusing on that point. Nobody's talking about that. But let me get Luke 8:17. I got a glare here, so Salakia, it's hard for me to see. I got some Edomites sitting over there on my bench where I usually go. This is Luke 8:17, and it reads, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." So we're living in a time and era where Esau, Edom is being exposed, and the true children of Israel are about to be persecuted. All right, they make a man an offender for a word. Let me pull that up real quick. I think that's in Isaiah. Isaiah 29:21. And it reads, "They make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught." So when you bring out these evidences, you bring out these scriptures and prophecies, truth, it gets labeled as anti-Semitic, it gets labeled as hate speech, so pretty soon they're just going to make the whole Bible hate speech. Because what you're going to find is that the Bible speaks against Edom, and Edom is still here. All right, and they are ruling the world, and they're ruling the world imbalanced because Amalek is not sharing the power with Edom. He's giving Edom crumbs. All right, even the wealthiest and the richest of Edom has still got crumbs. And now I'm beginning to understand why these different white supremacist groups, why they have so much hate toward Amalek, because they've understood this all along. And there's many books and writings, written by white Christians throughout the late 18th, 19th century on this subject matter. Henry Ford of the Ford Motor Company was one of those white Christians. As a matter of fact, when you do your research, you find out that Ford supported Hitler. Matter of fact, I got an image that Kowalya sent me earlier. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Of Henry Ford, or something that Ford said, speaking on that subject matter. Yep, here it is. If I can even enlarge it and put it on the screen, but might not be able to see it because of the glare. Well, I'll let you can freeze frame it. All right, you can freeze frame it, and then I'll read it. And it says, "The Jew is the race that has no civilization to point to, no aspiring religion, no great achievement in any realm." Henry Ford's Dearborn Independent. So the Dearborn historian. So that came from Henry Ford. That's not coming from me. That's coming from Henry Ford. And that's an actual historical a document, a book that was written. So, like I said, and this guy supported the Nazis, in the earlier part of the 19th century. So, and I mean, to hell with the Nazis, a middle finger to them. They pieces of shit too. But, but this guy supported them. So when I've been saying in so many videos for many years now that there's a war between the Edomites, between Amalek and the rest of Edom. Okay? And the Amalek, the Edomites that are here in America that are on top, basically they're just subscribing to Amalek's rule and supremacy. That's what they're doing. There's so many prominent Jewish leaders who have said things about referring to Edom and the rest of the Goyim as that, as good goy, that their spirits are worthless. They even say something to the effect that animals are more important than they are, than the Goyim is, or something to that effect. All right, but let me get to this video. All right, because there's a couple TikTok videos that I've been wanting to highlight too, to play on this whole Semitic thing. And the definition, by definition itself, Kanye can't be anti-Semitic. All right, especially once it breaks down who they actually are. So now that that's coming out, they're gonna have to find another angle, because that's not gonna be a viable argument anymore, and not concerning so-called black people anyway, or the people making that claim. They're gonna have to change it up soon. But here we go.
So I didn't, because I'm a literalist, right? I thought he was making a theological claim. It sounds like you're saying you think he's making a claim that Jewish equals oppression, black people have been oppressed for centuries, ergo black people are the real Jews. Sounds like it to me. Okay.
Well, and that wouldn't be, and just because they're oppressed, there's a reason for their oppression. That's what you have to go to the scripture. See, they're not lining the experience with the Israelite male here in America, men and women here in America, up with the Bible. They're going off their think and feel. All right.
I'm listening to it again, second, third time here. I listened to it this morning. I can't disagree with Kanye's argument that this whole abortion thing that we seem all wrapped up in, and its impact on American black people. I'll just keep it over here in America, where I live and concerned. I'm not offended or upset that he's calling that a Holocaust.
And it is. And what we would talk about is the negative conditioning for young women, is particularly our women, that and the freedom that was given to them to do this. All right, to send them astray, where our women are just sleeping around man to man, breaking up marriages, divorcing and leaving their husbands to go be with man after man after man, and not just our women, but any women here in the Western world, because no woman is supposed to be doing that. And so they build up these things to give license to commit all sorts of sin, especially the people of the Lord, knowing and understanding if the people of the Lord commit sin, the Lord won't deal with them, and they get to stay on top. See, they're not explaining or going into detail enough, because, like I said, they're paid off talking heads, and they're also ignorant to the scriptures and to this information. Because this guy goes on to talk about Paul's writing being to everyone, and everyone has to, and I'm like, well, then he really hasn't read, Romans, or read Paul, or understand the message of Paul at all. Okay.
It may be inaccurate, but I don't think it's offensive that Planned Parenthood and all the people that support abortion and its disparate impact, Ibram Kendi X, and any outcome that's not statistically supported or whatever is some sort of example of racism.
Especially, and I agree with him. I have to agree with him as well. And especially when you know the fact that was an institution which was set up by Anne Sanger, which happens to be an Amalekite, a small hatter. And she's known for saying things like that blacks need to be exterminated and their numbers need to be decreased. All right? You can Google that, because one thing too is that you can, a lot of the information that I'm mentioning, and a lot of these these quotes that came from these prominent Jewish people in the past, a lot of that stuff is going to get, scrubbed from the internet. You're not going to be able to find a lot of that stuff come soon. All right? They're going to, as they're being put under the microscope, they're going to disappear a lot of information.
I agree with Kanye here, and his analogy, and I know it's provocative, but I just don't, that shouldn't be offensive to Jewish people. And I don't think he's wrong, because what I hear him saying is like, these black artists, the black artists that are making this death music and devaluing black life is at the heart of why abortion seems so central.
And it just happens to be, Jewish producers and record label owners that push for this music.
from
All right, they changed hip hop.
from it are Jewish people in the music industry. Black artists are profiting from it as well. But I don't understand why he can't call out those two groups without people being offended.
Exactly.
I doubt that religious Jews are offended by this because typically, again, we'll go Ben Shapiro is maybe the most famous practicing Jew in America. He's so anti-abortion. 20 million black babies have been aborted since 1973, and 6 million Jews. And I get it that he talked about the number difference and all that, but if you're concerned about human life, a conservative practicing Jew, I doubt they're offended by this. It's probably the secular Jews that would come in and say, don't compare anything to the Holocaust. Everything's dangerous when you talk about Jews.
TJ, I think just the way the conversations tend to go.
The reason that they don't want these sort of things talked about is simply because they don't want those talking points discussed, because it's going to bring up questions, and certain questions are going to be answered that they don't have the answers for. Information is going to come that scriptures and relics and things are going to come out that simply just don't benefit them. That's the real problem.
Paul, the Apostle Paul, is in Romans and listing out all of these sins, greed and malice and murder. He's talking about everybody.
Yep.
And no, he's not.
Level in place that everybody can be assured that no group gets to buy their way out of sin. So when you get into using these terms in terms of group level discussions, I make a distinction between a description and an explanation. And people do this all the time. I mean, if I watch Fox News or any conservative network, they don't have any problem running a string of videos with criminal suspects who happen to be black in large cities engaging in violent crime. And sometimes they'll say...
And as a matter of fact, now that he said that, I'm going to play a video that counters, and because he says the fact that he says that is that's true. He has to eat that, and that's a lie. I'm gonna try to find this video where this if I can find it. I actually did a video on it not that long ago. This damn glare is messing me up. I can't see anything. Where this woman goes into those statistics and how how they're false, and she shows you that the FBI statistics shows you that more crime is actually being done in America by white people, and that's not being told on the news. All right. So that lets you know that the news is completely and totally controlled. They may have deleted that video after I made, because I got 3 videos here that just won't pull up. Let me see. Yeah, this video is unavailable. Let me see. Yeah, I have a feeling that the video that I'm talking about is, how you save certain videos, and it should have popped up by now, and it hasn't. Yeah, I think they unalived that video after I made. Sons of bitches. Oh no, just found it. Salakia. The water, how about Shanawah Shai? Now he was speaking about how, they show across America that that he has to eat. Matter of fact, now that I found it, let me go back and let his play a little bit more. Now I know what that video is.
Percent of the population accounts for 50% of all homicides. Right. And I gotta eat that.
So that's what he said. He said 60% of the population accounts for 50% of the homicides, and that's a complete lie. That's a fabricated lie, because the FBI statistics tell a different story, and he's got to eat that because he knows it's true. So that's why I mean, this guy's an agent. He's using the term Black Hebrew Israelite and not Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew Israelites don't refer to themselves as Hebrew Israelites. The ones that do that are those 501c3 charter bought off groups. All right. So let's go back to the TikTok video I was talking about. And there she is. Now let's listen to her.
Well, it looks like we have Candace Owens in the chat. Buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm about to show you some statistics.
And this is an Edomite woman.
And this isn't about being a white liberal. This is about being someone who cares about facts and knows that any of this information is easily accessible through the internet. This is the United States government's official website. United States. Let's look at the total number of crimes, right there, committed by white people, 4,729,290. Committed by black people, 1,815,144. Then let's scroll over here to the percent distribution. White people were arrested and committed 69.4% of crime. Black people committed 26.6% of crime. American Indian or Alaskan Native committed 2.4% of crime, and Asians committed 1.3% of crime. I'm going to give you a quick preview of the kind of crimes that are being committed and by who.
Okay, listen.
So, rape, white people. Robbery, white people. Aggravated assault, white people. Burglary, white people. Larceny, theft, white people. Motor vehicle theft, white people. Arson, white people. Violent crime, white people. Property damage, white people. Other assaults, white people. Forgery, white people. I think you get my point. If you scroll through this list.
So what she's really sharing with you is that it's not saying that, you know, so-called black people they commit crimes every day, all day long. But what she's saying to you is that in actuality, the more crimes and the most violent crimes and the worst crimes are being committed more by white people, and that's not reflected in the news. The news choose to put the crimes that are done by people of color, and they leave out the crimes, all right, that are being done by white. So that goes right back to showing you and proving the fact that someone is controlling the media. Someone is controlling information. Someone is controlling the narrative. All right. So let me, you get the gist of it, but let me go to, because that video on TikTok with that guy going into the Semitic definitions, that's probably going to be a continuation of this. But let me go to wrap this up. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy. I keep saying this comes out almost every lesson now because it's the time that we're in. This is Deuteronomy 33 and 29. It reads, Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help, who is the sword of thy excellency, and thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. And we are. By speaking this truth, we're treading upon their high places, their pride and their lies. With that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Badash, Wa Abba Babal Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.